got to imagine a very brightly colored tent that is the size of a football field. In the middle of this thing, instead of having the 50-yard line and the end zones, you have 3 rings in which the players all play and do different tricks. It's a conglomerate of animals, clowns, acrobats that travels from town to town on trucks, trailers, and everything, generally entertaining the public from place to place.
Children of all ages, directing your attention to the lofty dome of the Big Top.
It appears on the doorstep before dawn, a familiar guest from the past, hauling a great canvas house in its bags. The annual pilgrimage of the traveling tented circus.
I'm going to quote Ernest Hemingway. He said that the circus is the only thing around, it's the only ageless thing that gives the impression of a truly happy dream.
The people that enjoy a circus are the same that would go to the ballet, would sit side by side with those that would go to the Saturday night wrestling match.
You've almost got to see it. You've got to smell it. You've got to hear it. You've got to experience it.
The circus is supposed to have the smells of the animals, the smells of the grease paint, the movement under the tent. That's all part of being a circus, and it's not a circus unless it's under a tent. And I don't care what anybody says, it's antiseptic when it's in a building. It's like going into a hospital and seeing a nurse in a white outfit and saying, gee, that's nice and clean, but you know, it's not really the real thing. You say Coke is a real thing, well then a circus in a tent is a real thing. That's part of American circus.
174 men, women, and children house themselves in small mobile homes for the duration of the circus season. Little quiet, almost no privacy. Yet this is where the magic that is circus begins.
Traveling tented circus is a unique lifestyle. It's a city unto itself. You're either performing, putting up and down equipment, or traveling over the road. And when the 8 months is concluded of the tour, you have some pretty tired people. Yet, despite the nomadic experience that it is, you've got people you just simply don't want anything else, have never done anything else, and enjoy it. There's an old saying that if a circus person cuts a vein, blood doesn't come out, sawdust does. And it does get in your blood. It does become a part of you. It's certainly got me.
A lot of people live for that applause. I mean, I guess we're all hams down to it. I get excited when I go in, and at the end of the show, the people join in the finale and start clapping their hands along with the show, and that's part of. I find myself doing the same thing, not because I'm an old show bum, but because it's part of life. It's circus. It's got to be in you. Anybody that out there tells you they're out there because they're getting paid is a liar, because nobody can pay you enough money to be out there. It's tough.
Circus would probably be the most awful place in the world if you didn't want to be there. You have to want to be there, or you are miserable.
The acrobat, the juggler, the trapeze artist, the equestrian, the clown. Their artistry is the essence of circus, the oldest and most continually popular form of entertainment ever conceived by man. It emerged in ancient Egypt as early as 2500 BC, gained form and substance in 18th century England, took root in America in 1793. Eventually made popular by familiar names like Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers, and Cole Brothers. The most famous of the great wild animal trainers, Clyde Beatty, combined his own circus with the Cole Brothers in 1950.
What you're seeing in performance is basically what you would have seen 100 years ago. Now, the importance of this is, remember when you're a little kid how maybe in the kitchen doorway they had little marks how tall you were each year, and the circus is like that too. It's a milestone marker in people's lives.
It's like that last steam locomotive going by, and they're looking at something that their parents and their grandparents before them and their great-grandparents enjoyed, and it was a major event once a year in their life.
Over the years, the circus has faced a procession of potent rivals: theater, films, television, home video. But the allure of the big top circus has survived, an enduring reminder of a lost age of innocence.
John Ringling North, back in '57, said, when they closed the Ringling Show, and that was simply because they couldn't move it. They said, this is the end of the American tented circus. Well, we've proved them wrong. In fact, I personally proved them wrong a lot of times. I mean, a lot of people said, that's the end of this show. And I said, to heck it is. I said, you watch, I'm going to get this thing out of the barn if it kills me. And the main thing is that you give them a good show and the public come. The people want to see part of Americana. When you look back, this is something that was here long before there was anything else.
Circus will never exactly die away because it's so ingrained in our culture, because there's always circus in movies, it's in paintings, it's in literature. Even if it actually ceased to exist as a physical entity, it would never cease to exist in our minds because it's part of our culture.
Henry Ringling North once wrote, "The circus is a jealous wench." Indeed, that is an understatement. She is a ravening hag who sucks your vitality as a vampire drinks blood, who kills the brightest stars in her crown, and who will allow no private life to those who serve her, wrecking their homes, their bodies, and destroying the happiness of their loved ones by her insatiable demands. She is all of these things, and yet I love her as I love nothing else on earth. On any given day, there are more than 3.5 million truckers on the road across America.
They're the backbone of the nation. You know, without the truck industry in here, what are you going to do? How are you going to get your food, your fuel, your shoes, your clothes? How are you going to get that stuff if the truck's shut down? Where's it going to come from? Who's going to haul it?
I put on an average 120 to 140,000 miles a year.
I'm on the road 3 to 4 months at a time. I got truck payments to make.
I'm doing something that keeps this United States moving. Without us, it's not going to move.
Long-haul truckers are a unique breed. To most Americans, they are fleeting, faceless blurs, sitting high atop their massive mounts.
The appeal of it is freedom. The freedom to come and go as I please.
You see a lot more husband and wife teams, but not everybody can do it. A lot of my friends think I'm crazy because I like it.
You just get to see a lot of different things you'd never see if you didn't drive a truck, you know.
Loners with a lust for wandering, working family teams, refugees from the restraints of traditional corporate jobs. They transport everything we use, and when we're finished, they carry away what we no longer want. Everything from fresh eggs and personal computers to worn-out tires and toxic waste. The average independent trucker keeps the same big rig for about 5 years, in that time logging enough miles to make a trip to the moon and back.
Once you get it in your system, it's hard to get out. You say you're going to get out of it, you're going to go home, and you're going to stay home with your family, but pretty quick you're back on the road again.
Along the roads used by these constantly migrating herds of 18-wheelers are about 2,500 interstate truck stops. Like some mythical siren's lure, their neon signs promise nourishment for both man and machine.
If there's a good place to eat, there'll be a truck driver know where it is, you know.
There are the small, old-fashioned diners, like Johnson's Corner, a haven in the Colorado Rockies, and the more modern complex, which takes the form of a concrete oasis, like this virtual desert city outside Gallup, New Mexico.
When a driver comes into Giant, he can fuel his truck, have work done on his truck if he needs to, do his laundry, take a shower, watch a movie, eat, shop, relax in the game room or in the quiet lounge, go through the truck wash.
Truck stops offer an enormous variety of services and supplies to fulfill truckers' every need.
Historically, travel has been very important in this area. There have been many trails through here.
History is in the air around Johnson's Corner. Nearby is the site of the first stagecoach stop along the Rockies, built 150 years ago by a pioneer named Mariano Medina.
He had found out people would pay for supplies and pay to cross rivers and pay to stay at places and to buy foods and things that they needed. Perhaps if you had a meal at his station, it would cost you $1 to $1.50. He also had whiskey, which he sold at 25 cents a glass, because you had to fortify yourself for the adventure ahead.
In 1953, Joe Johnson opened his truck stop on this very same north-south passage. Shortly after he opened for business, Johnson buried the key to the front door, making certain truckers would always have a place to stop. Since that time, Johnson's Corner has never closed.
First time I stopped here was in '66, and I've been coming here ever since. Always have had good food, the service and all has been real good.
We are friends as well as waitresses to them, and there's somebody to talk to and make sure that they get good food and good service and feel comfortable.
There are closely guarded secrets in this place, chiefly an old family recipe for prize-winning cinnamon rolls.
It's not fancy, but it's good. It's just like you eat at home. It's better than most of your trucks, big truck stops.
Not long ago, Johnson's Corner installed a new coffee maker with a special water filter. But truckers complained about the taste, so the old brew was brought back. Each year, more than 37,000 gallons of coffee flow from pot to mug.
I love coffee, I love tea. I love the Java jive and it loves me. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, yeah.
Trucks annually consume almost 36 billion gallons of fuel. But truck stops like these offer something more precious. They are places where long haulers know there'll be other truckers to talk about the miles ahead and the years behind.
It was a guzzler. I mean, 6 miles, 7 miles a gallon was all you could get out of this thing. But then gas was only 20 cents a gallon.
Family life is real tough for a trucker because they are gone so much. It's hard to raise kids when you're not home. And a lot of them get kind of lonely. They'll come in, like I said, and just sit and visit and yak and, walk in and out.
Draw one, waiter, percolator.
The basic cost of a new big rig is $105,000. Luxury can cost a lot more.
This is an 84-inch sleeper. We have a 42-inch bed, porta potty here that rolls out, rolls back. This is our generator system. We have electricity, sink, microwave, slide-out table, refrigerator, TV, VCR. This is our home away from home. We're out maybe 6 weeks at a time. We live in it. We enjoy it. We love it. It's comfortable.
There's danger waiting on the roads. Truckers are involved in more than 26,000 serious accidents every year.
Life on the road for me is rough. I miss my family. When I leave, I can just see my mom have tears in her eyes.
After World War II, trucks gradually replaced trains as the country's dominant transport carriers. Today, hauling 2.5 billion tons of freight annually, independent truckers go wherever their next load takes them. One of the few certainties in their lifestyle is that somewhere down the road, the next truck stop is waiting.
Well, wherever my truck is parked, that's what I call home now. Yeah.